For this year's Paddy's Day Parade in Belfast, we, the team here at Beat Carnival, we want to celebrate that we're now a UNESCO City of Music. And we want to celebrate some of the many musical styles that have helped lift and inspire the people of Belfast throughout the years.
So let's get out and about and talk about RAVE.
I suppose when the big scene started kicking off in terms of dance music, it happened in the places where people were mixing. And that was in the colleges and the universities. When people were joining punk bands, it was also because it was affordable. You could buy a cheap second-hand guitar, you could do whatever. Well, the same started to happen with the technology that was required to make electronic music.
I mean, around that time, me and everybody I knocked about with, we were from North Belfast, and we started going to the Plaza. Most people I knew that went to the Plaza ended up sort of going to raves and ended up going to things like Sugar Sweet. You know, you had people like Lyndon Stevens, God rest him. And when you went out, you did kind of run the gauntlet sometimes. I mean, I got chased numerous times going along Royal Avenue. You had to climb over two sets of gates. You had to get enough distance between you and them so you could climb over and get over in time. They would never go over the gates. I mean, for me, going out was my revolution. And it was very different to punk. It's been compared to punk, and I get that. I get the comparison, but it had a very different ideology, a very different ethos. This wasn't about smashing a system. It wasn't about destroying anything. Where most of Northern Ireland was joyless, this was joyous. That's the difference.
Orbital, of course, inspired to write a song.
Orbital had this track, this untitled track that they played, Placement Bickies, they called it Belfast. You know, it's become our national anthem, really. You know, when you think about it. It was definitely the first step towards a Good Friday Agreement. It was that generation who made the Good Friday Agreement happen, because we were of an age where we'd started voting, or we had a vested interest. And I think because we'd seen that there was a better alternative.
It's hard to even describe that feeling, because you'll never get that back of falling in love with that music for the first time. I was 16 at the time, so I saved my pocket money, got a loan off my dad, and went and bought decks. Never really much of a clubber, because I was quite a shy kid. I still am, but it was definitely, for me, it was a bedroom hobby.
Yeah.
I'd spend my time kind of just listening to music. In the 90s, it brought together different communities. It done so much for the peace process, whereas now that's not important to the kids who are going out. Techno has also been kind of described as electronic soul music, you know. Definitely electronic music can have soul, it can have emotion, because there's a human being behind it. It's computer music, but not made by computers. I don't know, there's something spiritual about that. Listening to that on the dance floor just makes people happy and feel free, and that's what you want to create on the dance floor, is that feeling.
Whether we're dancing in a disco, we're in the middle of a rave, if we're in a mosh pit, or in the middle of a pub surrounded by musicians who are just driving a full-on party energy. I think getting lost in music is the greatest thing that we have.